In today's tutorial, we're going to be doing some triple comboed stack freezes. Welcome back again, ladies and gentlemen. I am AJ47 from Soul Mavericks Crew, London, England. I'm going to give you a couple combinations you can use, and then I'm going to try and give you guys some ideas so you can go away and create your own. And if you stay towards the end of the video, I have 5 bonus tips you don't want to miss. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you already know that we've been doing some basic freeze entrances and then some simple 1-2 combo freezes. Now we're doing a triple combo. So in these triple combos, these are a little bit more flashy. They're a little bit more powerful when we're using them in competition, because you've got freeze, freeze, freeze. They show a lot of dynamics, they show a lot of articulation. If you're using basic freezes, it shows that your foundation is well rehearsed and well understood. Snap is important, so if you are still struggling with freezes, I do recommend checking out some of my conditioning videos. In fact, here's a conditioning freeze playlist that you should check out before progressing with this tutorial if it's too difficult for you already. Now, the first freeze combination we have is from shoulder freeze to forearm headstand down to high chair. I've chosen this one first because the shape changes in each are quite dynamic. So you've got the shoulder freeze, which is really small and compact, the forearm headstand, which is really long, and the high chair, which is really wide and spread out. So this is why we're going to learn these, and also they're great conditioning tools to use. You can use these freezes as conditioning exercises just by doing the 3 freezes again and again, like this. And of course, you can just use it as a quick triple combo to end your round, or in the middle or the beginning of your round, even so. Next, because it will give you great articulation, strength and coordination, same freezes but just in a different order. But this time around, you're going to go from high chair to forearm headstand to shoulder freeze. So again, being really wide and dynamic to nice and tall in one straight line, and collapsing from this tall position all the way down into a shoulder freeze. You don't have to use any of these freezes. You can change them and put them in any order you would prefer, or use completely different freezes. You don't have to use any of them. The golden gem I want you to take away is try and make your freezes rather different when you're comboing. But a good starting point is just to go from small to big, small to big. It's much more pleasing to the eye rather than having loads of big shapes that are like this, but having more shapes that go like this. Okay. Before we get started, you're going to want your beanie, because it's a much more pleasurable experience having the hat rather than dragging your head up on the floor. You will understand what I mean when we get to the explaining section. So grab your beanie and pull it on just like that. Sick. Right, let's get to the floor. So first of all, we're going to do the techniques for shoulder, pencil, high chair. So shoulder freeze, forearm headstand, pencil for short, and then high chair. So the high chair is the chair freeze with the legs off the floor, but not quite an air chair. That's why I call it the high chair. And when I'm going from shoulder, I'm exploding this way. So I'm bringing my chest, I'm pushing my chest through. I'm kind of doing this motion, all right? So when I go from shoulder freeze, like so, and I'm pushing up, my head slides forward. Watch. See? Like this. And now my head's going to slide towards this direction, like so. Back down to here. And then from here, I'm going to use my hips to pop and collapse into shoulder. Like so. Alright? And then you repeat this combo. When you've got it good and nice and controlled, then you can start trying to get it really sharp, and then place it into a combo. One more time. Shoulder freeze, chest coming forward, head sliding forward. Push up, nice. Now, sliding your head sideways towards this hand, like so, okay? And then collapsing into shoulder freeze with the hips pop. There you go. And there you have it. Because you guys stay towards the end, I'm going to give you 5 little tips which will add value to building your own combinations by yourself, and also the correct and structural way to do it. If you practice manipulating and moving your body around, this will make learning freezes, or at least the transitions between them, much easier, because you're going with the natural flow of your body and you're using a bit of momentum to get you into those freezes. First of all, if you place your hands on the floor Look, if I move my arm this way, my body moves. If I pull it back, like this, okay? Same thing in freezes, like this, okay? It's the same thing in freezes. If I go from here, and I slide my head towards my arm, I go up, okay? Slide it back, all right? Slide it round, baby freeze. Slide it around, head bridge. See what I mean? Shoulder freeze. Second valuable tip, breathing. How I would like you to think about it is, you see martial artists, or boxers in particular, when they use this breathing technique, they're blowing out their energy, and they're maximizing the power they hit with. We can apply the same technique to breaking. Using this technique also trains you to breathe at the correct time during your most strenuous movements, all right? So when we're going from one freeze to another, you don't have to make such a loud sound, you can literally just, and when the music's playing, nobody's gonna hear you. You don't want to be going like, every time you're changing a freeze. All right, you want to hold it down. You still want to look cool, you still want to look composed, and you don't want to make it look like you're making too much of an effort, okay? Part of the magic of breaking is making these things look effortless, all right? And you know that's why we kind of vote for flawlessness, people who have clean rounds without crashing. If you fall in your face, it's not cool, right? But this breathing technique will help you. So let's give an example. If I'm going from this freeze, okay, I'm breathing really exaggerated in this demonstration, but it's so you guys can hear me and you can hear the right times. It's just anytime I'm making a movement. You can also apply this to your footwork. Not that this is a footwork tutorial, but when you're going here, okay, and this helps you to move sharp and to freeze, because when you, all of your muscles, especially around your core, around your abs, they contract. And this is why using this technique is powerful, especially if you want to freeze, like really freeze and not wobble. The third valuable technique, using your hips to swing. Think of it as one leg is at the top and the other leg is at the bottom. We want to try and swap them with the same amount of power, like so. A really basic example of this is going from baby freeze to headstand. So baby freeze with the figure 4, and I go to headstand to here, like so, all right? Now I'm going back, and again. A great example of this is baby freeze to elbow freeze. All right, so I'm gonna go to the baby freeze, but the figure 4 shape, like so. And now I'm gonna swing my legs in a circle to get to an elbow freeze, like so. I'm gonna go from here, sweep, up, like so. Okay, so what this does, it allows my body to be light and powerful. And also this is, I mean, you're gonna use swings for pretty much all of your footwork, all of your pretzels, all of your power moves. So it makes sense that we apply it to our freezes as well. It makes the body look light, it moves energy efficient, and it just looks powerful. So for example, when you're going from baby freeze back to cut, to standing up, you want to have a nice big swing to do so. So go from here, swing to standing. Make sense? So apply that to your freezes, and that will really make things a lot easier. Tip number 4. Usually when we want to transition upwards, we're going to be using a freeze that requires our hips to be in line with our head. Almost. Anyway, almost. So for example, if I'm going from a side pencil, but I want to go up, the way that I do this is by getting my hips over my head, dragging my hips over my head. It's the same thing if I'm going from a stab freeze to a handstand. So if I go from here and I go up, I'm bringing my hips over my head. A beginner mistake is you kind of have to do this just so you've got it out of the way and you know that you're never gonna fall worse than this, is that they arch their back and they continue to arch it and then they land on their back, kind of like this. So they go up and then they go over, like this, all right? That's common. In fact, get that out of the way. Just make sure that when you land, your lower back is off the floor. This is how the wrestlers fall. The wrestlers, when I say the wrestlers, I'm talking about WWE or WWF when I was watching it. But they have their lower back off the floor.
so they don't injure their lower spine. And we kind of do use this a lot in breaking as well. People that do the suicide and land here, or when they do tap mill, which is the windmill with the foot on the floor like this and your lower back is off the floor. It's the same principle, we use the same technique, all right? Just another little valuable tip. That's technically 2 tips, but yeah, there you go. So getting your hips over your head. Valuable tip number 5, I mean this probably is the most obvious one, but train your freeze combos like a workout. Train them again and again and again so you can hit them when you're tired. Because if you're training for competition, you want to be able to hit these freezes when you're fatigued, when you're tired, when you're short of breath. So it's a good training method to test the body under those conditions. You feel me? Bonus tip that I never mentioned. Bonus tip, musicality with these freezes. Okay, so I'm not going to go too in depth of the musicality. I'm going to save that for another tutorial. But what I will say is if you can count music, hopefully you can, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then it repeats 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These freezes, I've done 3. So if you can get your prep on 6 and then hit your first freeze combination, first freeze of the combination on 7, it'll be 7, 8, 1, which would be the accent, usually the accent in the song. I will overlay these tracks. I will overlay a track so you can see towards a demonstration. So to use musicality, for example, if this is my prep, 6, and I jump into my freeze, 7, 8, 1. Okay, so that'd be pretty impressive. Yes, you do have to train it to get it to that speed, but that's the joy of breaking, and it comes as a surprise and it's musical. It'd work the same with any 3 combo. If you hit the first of the 3 freezes on the 7, it's going to be 7, 8, 1. So for example, this one, for another example, check this one out. So if the music is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. Okay, makes sense? That is the real bonus. That, I hope you understand it. You want to have your moves on beat, of course, but you want, even more importantly, you want to do your moves at the right time in the music, on beat. So check this next series of clips, and you'll see a bit more of a breakdown of what I mean. If you follow these tips, it's going to up your level exponentially. You're going to end up really strong, you're articulate, and you're going to be able to make your own combinations, especially if you stayed to the end of the video and you paid attention to everything. You're going to be able to make your own combinations with ease. And I hope you enjoyed those few examples at the end. Let me know if you like this style of tutorial where I'm demonstrating and I'm explaining. I hope it's really provided you with some real value. I'm telling you, I have got so much stuff coming your way. Thank you for staying with me and coming on this journey with me. Anyway, I've done enough talking. Like the video if you like it, subscribe if you're new. Peace.